It gives me great gads of pleasure to introduce one of so many amazing volunteers, but Judy really stands above and beyond. So please put your hands together for Judy Mazzeo.
Well, Trathan already said, my name is Judy Mazzeo. I've lived in Petaluma with my husband, Jeff, nearly 22 years. And I've never in my life stood in front of this many people before today. I gotta say it's a little intimidating, but that's what can happen when you become, part of Daily Acts. Early last year, I retired from my job as an editor. And although I was looking forward to doing many things, I was conscious of the fact that over the last number of years, my world seemed to be shrinking. The last of my close family had died, a number of friends had moved far away, and my contact with the community was pretty much non-existent. And though I wasn't at all worried about filling up my days, I felt isolated, and I gave a lot of thought to how I wanted to spend my time. I knew I wanted more involvement with my community, and I wanted to have purpose in my life. A few years back, a friend told me she'd been following a local nonprofit called Daily Acts and suggested I check it out. So I did, and it seemed to combine two of my passions, water conservation and getting my hands dirty in the garden. Plus, it had a focus on building community. Sounded promising, so I went to a workday at Pocket Park in Cotati in the spring of 2011. I remember thinking, this could be what I'm looking for. Later that year, I joined a workday at the Kavanaugh Center in Petaluma. I was so taken by the passion of the people I met there and the diversity. They were young, old, and everything in between. I was amazed to see how huge projects could be accomplished in such a short amount of time with the help of many hands. I saw community in action, and I was hooked. That day, Aaron from Daily Acts mentioned that they wanted to set up a propagation guild to grow plants for the various projects. I mentioned that I like to grow things, and she said, great, maybe you can start it. That's what can happen when you become part of Daily Acts. As I got more involved, I started applying what I was learning to my own little world. And last year, we put a food forest and a gray water system in our front yard. It's easily the most unique front yard in our neighborhood. And soon people I'd never met were stopping to chat when I was in the garden. I had spent so many years commuting elsewhere that I knew few of my neighbors. But in the years since our front yard was transformed, I've met more of them than in the previous 2 decades. One day, the garbage truck driver even stopped to tell me how much he enjoyed watching the new garden take shape. Now, I'm extremely shy by nature, but I've become much bolder since finding Daily Acts. When the recent cider pressing weekend was approaching and I didn't have any apples, I discovered an apple tree a couple of blocks away just loaded with fruit. Having no idea what response I'd get, I went up to the house and knocked on the door. The nice young man who opened it offered me as many apples as I wanted and then even helped me pick them. That's what happens when you become part of this organization. I've had so many wonderful experiences with Daily Acts. I constantly meet new people, learn new things, and I feel more connected to my community than ever before. I've found friendship, a sense of belonging, purpose, and most definitely joy. I've discovered that although I might not be able to fix the world's woes single-handedly, I can do something. I can do this. One lawn transformation at a time, I can help create a force for positive change. My world is forever expanded, and I simply cannot imagine my life without Daily Acts. Thank you.